Hi guys, welcome back. I'm now sat in a BMW X6, which is a sport utility vehicle SUV from BMW. So a little bit history about the BMW X6 is the BMW X6 is a car based on the BMW X5. The X5 is a sport utility vehicle from BMW that came into the market as from the year 2002. So the X5 is the car that pioneered the whole SUV thing in Europe and the rest of the world. So it is the X6 is heavily based on the X5 that came then and then has undergone facelifts on several years and then upgrades as well as little changes here and there. So this car, as it was launched back then up to now, has undergone or has stood the test of time, being quite reliable in some ways, not really in every way. For instance, this very car, I'm talking about it based on the X5 because underneath it's just the same car, it's just the same thing in different bodies, especially at the back. So this car is very powerful for the cars in its class. The X5 and this X6 came with standard with the 3-liter straight 6 diesel engine from BMW, which some of them have been bulletproof. So for instance, the 3-liter straight 6 in the X5 and this X6 with a single turbo produced around 236 horsepower, and then the twin turbo versions of it, the 3-liter twin turbo version of it, produced about 272 brake horsepower, just under 300, which is much powerful for this class. Having that this car is in the same class with the VW Touareg, this car is in the same class with Land Rover Discovery, Volvo XC90, as well as the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado, which is hugely underpowered. So for instance, the Land Cruiser Prado comes with a 2.8 turbo diesel or a 3-liter turbo diesel with about 175 horsepower, the 2.8 turbo diesel with about 165 brake horsepower, which is so much more underpowered, maybe because for its robust nature or durability. But anyway, we are talking about BMWs. So 2002 all the way to 2006, that was the first gen X5. X6 came in later, and then the E70, which is the second generation, that is from 2007 up to 2013. So this very car has the twin turbo diesel engine, the 272 horsepower. So very powerful car. It handles like a sports car. For something of its size, it handles quite well, it drives well. The steering is not as heavy as you may think for it being a very huge car, but yeah, very proportional to its weight. You can feel some feedback coming. You can exactly tell where the wheels are pointing or what your front wheels are doing. Yeah, so this one here, the interior is a bit, forgive the sun again, the interior is nicely made and squeegee. The interior is nicely made, classic BMW, everything feels nice and solid. Every button that you touch or press has that premium feeling of a nicely made car. This center console here, very family made, with a traditional BMW iDrive system that has several options. You can do things like check your service history, check your mileage, check your journey history and information, do things like the infotainment, the radio. This car has a premium sound system, Harman Kardon sound system, with it, with some wood finish here, leather interior, some storage compartment here that you can use to store something. You can use that on one side or both of them on both sides. This one used to have a telephone here. During those days, these cars used to come with a telephone. You close it that way. At the rear here, in the back, good space for two This one had only space for two. This center space was left for cup holders, as well as this small space for ashes for the cigarette lighter. During that time, many people were smoking, so you would put your ashes here. You would light a cigarette from this 12-volt socket, and then you put your ashes there and then throw them away later. Yeah, so that is for cup holders. And then some cubby space here. Then nice leather seats at the back. Having that this is an X6, which is sort of a coupe version of the X5, the slanting roof, so there's not much headroom at the back here. So if you are just over 5'8", you will find it a bit squeezed at the back, but the legroom is quite good. You also sit nice and low in here, so you won't feel like riding on a very huge SUV, but you feel like riding in a normal car. The suspension is not that hard for it being a sport utility vehicle. The suspension is quite soft on the road. The only thing you get is there's a bit of road noise, since this car has some of the biggest or the widest tires cut that were ever fitted on a car. So if you're looking out to buy a BMW X5 or a BMW X6, there are some few things you need to look out for. So this is a very big car. One of the things is look out for the tires. This car, for its weight and its size, tends to chew through rubber a lot more often, and buying one tire for this can go for up to $200 per corner. That is about 20,000 Kenya shillings for one tire. For a good brand, that is the cheapest of them. The other thing is these cars like to chew through rubber in terms of bushes again. So look out for the bushes at the front, bushes at the back. The air suspension can start leaking, so you might want to check that. Leakage can come through the air pipes or the actual air struts themselves. You want to check service history. So one thing with these European SUVs is that these cars cost to the upwards of $60,000 when new. So when you're buying these cars as second hand for about $6,000, that is $6,000 to $10,000. In Kenya or Africa, that would be around 2 million shillings to 5 million shillings. So if you're buying these cars, do not forget this was a $60,000 car, and service and maintenance is for that car that went for that price. You've bought yours at a fraction of that price, but the parts and the servicing is still for the same car that came to the market for over $50,000. So you want to look out for those things we've mentioned. On the engine side, the diesel versions of this car were very good. In terms of reliability, the BMW diesel engines are some of the best in the market. Don't forget Land Rover. When the Range Rover Vogue was launched, they used BMW engines. This other new car that is coming onto the market, the Ineos Grenadier, it's going to use a BMW gearbox and engine. So timely services, as well as changing the timing belt at about 100,000 kilometers. The gearbox for these ones, the earlier model ones had 6-speed automatic, which is quite reliable, but only needs service at about 80,000 kilometers. And then the later versions of it, I think that third generation came with an updated 8-speed ZF gearbox that also needs gearbox service, gearbox flush, that is gearbox oil and the filters at about 100,000 kilometers, every 100,000 kilometers. So if you keep those things in check, you have a good car to run about with. Don't forget how sporty this thing is, how nice and sweet you can enjoy your ride in this car. So as I said, this is some of the most sporty cars you can enjoy for a fraction of what they cost when they were new. So these cars are super good on the road, but when you take them off-road, they're absolutely useless off-road. So again, nobody really buys this car for off-road. Yeah, so guys, you can get this very car through Assonation Auto World. through the contacts that are in the description below, as well as on the link found in the description below. So if you're new here, please subscribe, watch, share, click on the bell icon to make sure that you're notified anytime we're doing a new video. Thank you very much, guys.